This program is funded in part by a grant from Bankers Life Nebraska and presented by University of Nebraska Television.
Okay, but you'd like to be an old person?
Yeah.
You'd all like to be old people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it bad to be old?
No.
Do you know of anybody who's an old person?
Yeah. My grandma, and I can tell why she's getting old because she's got gray hair.
Okay. Do you want to look like an old person when you're old?
Yeah. No way. No. Did you used to have brown hair?
Yeah, my hair used to be black.
Right down on there, it's turning right on your chin.
Does that mean I'm old?
Yeah.
Does it? How many of you think I'm old? How can you tell? Yeah.
By his lines.
Well, I think I'm getting to be an older person, and I think I wanted to confront old age myself. And I remember when I was, not too many years ago, when my mother was still living, I went to visit her, and I noticed that her face was kind of splotchy up here, and I said to myself, you know, she's getting old. Of course, she's no longer alive, and just recently I went to the mirror to shave and looked at my forehead. I saw those same splotches. So then I thought, you know, it's happening to me. See? So instead of that being a negative thing, I can say, well, I'm changing. So I became interested in this idea that there's always change, but we only realize change when it might be too late. I guess I've done a lot of experiments photographically in factories, in stores, in office buildings, and I thought I would like to try one using a place where old people live. And the Newcastle Retirement Home in Omaha was chosen as an ideal place to try this experiment. It may change their attitude about life. It may open them up to the experiences they can still have. And it may change them. I hope it will. This project was in 3 steps. And the first step was to do a slideshow of this place. By taking these slides, I hope that people will begin to take a new look at their surrounding and be able to look over and over again at the same object every day. We all have our own unique little miniature world. And as we become accustomed to our mini world, we seldom realize that change goes on, that we become different people because we change, and that our world changes visually. I try not to arrange the things. I try not to touch them and make some compositions. I just like to find the things just the way they are. Now, I touched this just a little bit, and I felt a little bit guilty about that. Because people will say, well, you're an artist. You can make all these nice arrangements, and so they look good. And I'm trying to say, no, I'm not going to touch them. And you can find the same things that I'm finding, just the same, under the same circumstances. Without saying too much more, let's look at the pictures. Okay, the slides you'll see today will have to do with the world you live in. And in a couple of weeks we'll come back, and I'll be taking some new pictures, and I'll be taking pictures of you people. Okay, I'm an artist, and maybe artists see things differently, so maybe you can kind of see through my eyes today, and maybe we can guess some of these slides. Anyone recognize this? That's right, there's the knives and the forks over here when you pick up the knives and forks to eat every day. There they are. It's kind of a close-up view of it. Okay, there's some more knives. Here we're looking at the top of the napkins and the salt and pepper shakers. I was looking at the circles, the red spots, and the white lines, and the wonderful statue you have out front. The way the light goes from the east to the west. Okay, you like that. Fine. But this statue is not the same all the time. Here, this hand is white and this hand is dark. And it changes. Sometimes both hands are dark. Sometimes both hands are white. See from the different times of the day and notice that it changes. It doesn't always look the same. I think the people like the slideshow. Most people enjoy that part of the project, to see their world in a new way, and they're very excited and they're looking around more than they did before.
When will you come?
Oh, about a week.
In about a week.
In about a week.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
while you're eating and playing bingo, I'll come around and take your
Interesting.
pictures.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
I
glad
don't
you
play
liked it.
bingo.
You don't play bingo?
I did. I'm here 3 years already.
You gave up bingo, huh?
3 years in
Have
July.
you? Isn't this a nice place? You like it here?
Right here in New. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Otherwise I wouldn't stay, would I?
That's right. It is a nice place.
Well, I'll be waiting when you take our picture.
Oh, sure.
I never get mine in a magazine. Never.
Never? You will now. We'll take your picture and we're going to put it in a wall and have other people see it. That'll be nice.
Thank you.
We're taking everyone's pictures today.
Nobody ever takes one of me, so
Nobody ever takes a picture of you?
I'm kidding you.
I want to get real close to
Pulling
you.
that off.
I want to get real close to you.
I'd had my,
No one ever takes your picture?
no,
Why not?
because I never stay still long enough.
Oh, you move around a lot? But you don't mind if we take your picture?
Oh no, I got the jitters though.
Oh, you got the jitters?
No, it's just that I'm conscientious of it, that's
Yeah,
it.
well, everybody. Well, you're not the only
Are they
one.
that way?
Oh. I think we're all that way. I'm going around taking everybody's picture. What are you doing this afternoon?
Sleep.
Sleep. This is a sleeping day.
No, play bingo.
Oh, bingo? I'm going to take pictures while you're playing bingo this afternoon. Did you know that? I'll be in the bingo room there. First of all, the reason we took it in the dining room was because it was a casual situation and they were moving around and they were preoccupied with eating, and I could just tippy-toe around and take their picture. But it could be an intrusion on their privacy. We all have our little bubble around us. But in a way, it could have been a very positive thing when you think of the fact that somebody is caring enough to come around and take their picture. Take
I
another
just had my hair done, so I like to have my picture taken.
Well, yeah, special one. Yeah, I noticed you had your hair done. Ah, that's nice. Oh, those lights are hot today. You win at bingo? I hear you make good money
I
at
don't
bingo.
go to bingo anymore. I used to, but I quit.
Mary.
I don't like to have my picture taken.
Oh, sure you do. Do you have some pictures of yourself?
Not if I can get out of it.
And I didn't care what they did. In fact, I didn't really, when I snapped the shutter, I really wasn't too concerned about whether the face was just right or whether this was a good moment. I just snapped the picture, just very casual. I don't consider myself as a photographer, and I didn't even consider the lighting or anything. There's a person, there's a camera, just document that moment. Every picture that's taken of you has a rightness about it, a truth about it.
They catch you waving.
That's right. They'll catch you waving. You want us to catch you waving? Is that what you? Is that the way you want your picture to be? Waving?
Smile, they're on camera.
You like to have the picture. I do. Don't you want to be in the movies? No.
N44. 4.
I kind of felt like a rat the whole time I was doing it because it just seemed inappropriate. I understand why they felt negative, but I still wanted to do it because I was thinking about the final phase of it. I was seeing the end result. They were just seeing it right now. But in spite of knowing what was going to happen, I wanted to take it all the way to the end because I knew that they would feel good when it was done.
N37.
Instead of getting an artist to make sketches and drawings of these people, I used a camera. And then I used a Xerox machine. And on these Xerox images, I'm doing some drawing and some altering and some changing. And the result that we'll get will be basically a drawing, but it'll be based on information I got from the machine. So in a sense, it becomes as objective an object or image as we could get. And so that these people can't say, well, I won't accept that drawing of me because you're an artist and you did a subjective drawing. And the Xerox machine doesn't duplicate the image exactly. Some places are too light and some places are too dark. By using tempera paint and a pencil, I can work into this and accentuate the wrinkles and the lines. And I'm just dealing with the shape, and it's a lot easier to see the lights and darks and the shapes if you work upside down. The next step I want to do is to maybe risk with their image, maybe do some more caricatures and maybe do some more innovative things with their faces. And I want to see whether they'll allow me to tamper with their face. See, right now, okay, they'll accept their image, and maybe they'll accept my drawing of the image. Okay, now if we would do some sketches of them, then you're in an area of art. So I'm really leading them slowly through a process of seeing themselves and seeing themselves as art. You haven't looked for your picture yet?
No, I didn't think it was there.
Oh, they're all there.
Oh.
Oh, come on. You haven't found yours, really?
I know this man.
Yeah. Who else? You know her?
No, I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is? You know her?
I don't think so.
You know her? That's you. Looks just like
How
you, doesn't it?
different, though.
How different? What do you mean different? It looks just like you.
Doesn't feel like me.
Doesn't feel like you?
No.
Are you softer or harder or?
Oh, I don't.
Huh? Why? If you could change it, what would you change? I think it looks just like you.
Let me see.
No,
I think that nose is too big.
that's done from a photograph, so it has to be right.
I didn't know I had a big nose.
Oh, your nose isn't very big. You have a real little nose.
I thought it was.
You don't you look in the mirror very much?
Only when I have to.
Mine
See
up
if you
there.
can find her.
You can find it, sure.
I wouldn't know myself.
Oh, yes, you would. You're easy to
Can
spot.
you find yourself?
I could spot you a mile away.
You say this is me?
That's you.
I don't believe it.
Isn't that her?
Sure, that's her,
Yes.
but where am I? Oh my gosh,
What?
look at me. Look at my lips.
You're gonna whistle, I think. Look.
Yeah, is that what I was doing?
Yeah, she's gonna
I
whistle.
didn't know I
You
could
whistle
whistle.
at a fellow.
Isn't that a nice picture of you?
That's a hot one. What made me have those wrinkles up my lips?
You know, I think you were eating or something, or
You're trying to look real sweet.
I'm the worst one in here. I know who that is. That's Charlie Walsh.
Yeah.
You should know all of these people. They all live
Well,
here.
I know. Here's Mrs. That's Lucille Manigan.
Oh.
This is Amon. And look at this one. I know this one too. This one. But look at me with my lip. I mean, say that's crazy.
Come and look at your pictures. Show and tell time.
I hate to find man take such a horrible picture. Some of these are real
Is
good.
that me up on
Yes,
top?
it is.
That's scary.
Some of these are
look so
real
grouchy,
good.
Look at the wrinkles. Well, everybody's got wrinkles.
Yeah, they sure are. They're really pretty good.
I didn't know I looked that grouchy. Look at me.
I didn't look grouchy, but you sure showed all my wrinkles. You sure did. Showed more than that.
Here's your picture, dear. Here's your picture. Right here. That's very good of you.
He sure got all the wrinkles in, didn't he?
That's good of you.
There's a good picture of Bob right there.
Yes.
I don't see, do
Well,
you see?
who is this?
That's Catherine McVaney.
It is not.
Hey, who is it?
Yes, it is.
Just two, you.
Well, it sure doesn't look
Well,
like
it's a
it.
good one.
Then who's this over here? That is.
Is yours in there? Yeah.
Frankie's looking picture up there is me.
I don't see me.
Here you are, right here, Henrietta.
There's a couple of you.
Look how sad I look. Why didn't you tell them to smile when they took him? We didn't know anything about it though.
Do you smile all the time?
No.
Well,
You were talking about me.
See, you don't. You smile all the time. Then I'll take a picture when you smile. See.
Yeah. That way.
Yeah.
You were born what year?
1908.
1908? Oh, yeah, I'm older than that.
But he makes me 200 years older.
But I didn't do anything to it. See, I didn't do anything to it. The camera.
do it?
No, the
I
camera took it.
spanked him.
The camera does it.
The camera does it. There you are. Sure.
That is good.
That's a nice picture.
This is yours.
If that's me, I'll eat it.
The smile, you can tell by the smile.
You want to eat it? After lunch, you can eat it.
That's good, Bob.
Well, I think we all have preconceived ideas about what we look like. And actually, as we go through life, we mark moments when we'd like to remember our confirmation pictures taken in a very official way. And so there are times when we go to the photographer and he sets up the proper lighting and we take our picture. Maybe the most true pictures of what we look like are our passport pictures and our driving license pictures, which are taken spontaneously and without too much makeup. But most people don't like their passport pictures. They think it's not the way they really are. So while we're changing and going on, we think we look like that picture in a wallet. We think we look like that wedding picture. Actually, we're changing.
Don't do it over again. I'm going to take it down and I'm not going to let you.
You want to? What about the others here? They're going to leave theirs up.
Well, they look better than I do.
Oh, don't
Really?
you like yourself?
No.
You don't? Is that what it is? You don't like yourself?
No.
Oh,
I don't like it.
maybe other people want to see. Well, we try to have pictures of everybody in this building here, so they can get to know each other, and you're a part of this community, and we just like to have people know.
They'll know me anyhow.
They will.
Yes. Please take it down.
Give me one good reason.
Because it's such a horrible picture.
Oh, so right over. We'll take a better picture of you, huh? How's that? Would you feel better if we took a better picture of you?
If you took a better one.
What if it's worse? Then who's going to decide? You're going to take the...
I will.
You're going to decide?
I think it's just that it was just too much, right? Slamming them in the face with all those pictures, and it didn't help their morale any at all.
I thought they were terrible.
They were terrible?
No, but you know what?
What?
When you're not planning on a picture and then you see all those wrinkles and they're there,
Yeah.
but you hate to see them.
But maybe you don't... But you look in the mirror every day.
Yeah, but oh, Max Factor's good to me.
I think people don't realize how they look.
Yeah,
You look in the mirror every day, but you really don't see yourself.
that's
You see only what you want to see.
I thought saw a lot of character in some of these faces. And of course, for the old timer, that isn't too much of a trick to see character in another old timer. You know?
It's like reading a book and then going to a picture show, and they cast them all wrong. You've done that, certainly.
Well, I didn't know I couldn't pick anybody out.
You couldn't?
No, and I couldn't even pick my own out. Of course, my eyes aren't too good.
Oh.
And I couldn't pick my own picture, and I picked one of the worst looking old bats you ever saw. I thought it was me, see?
Oh, you thought it was
I
you?
thought it was me.
It was somebody else.
And it was somebody else, and I thought, oh boy.
Hey. You think it was bad for us to take pictures like that and put them up? Or
No, I think that was
What did-
fine. I think it was really fine, and I think most of them enjoyed it, really. They were just thrilled to death. And they stood out there for so long and looking at them and trying to figure out who was who. And they got them all straightened out.
Okay. Do you want your picture?
Huh?
Do you want your picture?
No, you could have
Don't you,
it.
don't you want? Don't you want to keep it and say that's me?
No.
That's me"? You don't?
I don't want it.
They reacted the way I expected. It was really very difficult for some people to see their image in black and white. And when they were reacting like that, I knew that I had touched something that was important. The worst thing that could have happened to this project was if no one responded. Oh, you, that's you. Yeah. And there can never be change without pain. When there was that pain that day, then I knew people were changing. So first we had a photograph with grays, and we had a Xerox image, and now we have a dramatic black and white line shape. That's nice. That's good. That's really good. This is part of getting them to have a better self-image. If they could have a 3 or 4 foot poster of themselves, I thought that would be another step in that direction. That's good. You're doing good. See?
Oh, Bob, I can't believe it.
See it?
Yeah.
Even with all those colors, it still looks like him.
Unfortunately, as we get older, we get shakier.
Yeah, that's right. What did you think about this project?
It's always interesting to be a part of it in some way.
Yes.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
This is better than painting by the numbers. Well, I think they get the feeling of how it feels to do a work of art, how it feels to draw. Wherever you see an edge, just draw. Just keep on going up. Just keep on going up. When it finally was finished and they could step away, it looked like something, and people recognized that it was them. That must have made them feel good. There. Now you see that line, and you draw those lines. This last part of our project has to do with aesthetics, which has to do with beauty. Beauty is not just necessarily things that are pretty or cute or nice. Another point I want to make is that your face can be understood to be like a landscape. So if you go out and enjoy the sunsets, and the trees, and the driftwood, and the barns and the houses, maybe we can look at our faces, the cavities and the grooves, as a kind of landscape. Artists have always been interested in themselves and their face. And Rembrandt did many, many paintings of himself. He painted himself as a very handsome young man. Here he is as an old person. And he could see himself changing through these many, many portraits. This is an etching done by Picasso, and you can see the drawing of a young person uses a very simple line, and the drawing of an old person uses many lines. This is Albrecht Dürer did a drawing of his mother, and the lines in her eyes and her forehead are very much like the lines in her hair and his clothing and part of his garment. And this is a sculpture made out of bronze, and whenever you see bronze sculpture, it's very seldom smooth, it's kind of rough. We're all sculptors in a sense that we make our face turn out to be whatever we want it to be. And the joy of playing bingo, and I wonder whether the word joy is maybe the wrong word, but again, it's kind of an attitude that people have. The attitude that you have of yourself, the attitude you have about the people around you. Okay, this is the last slide, and I thought I would use this as the last slide, and this was done during the Renaissance. I think it says a lot about our self-attitude or the attitude we have for each other. Here's a little child who accepts this man with a distorted nose. Little children don't see that. And maybe as we regard each other and see each other, maybe we can see each other like children see each other. Then we won't see the wrinkles as being something bad, but something that can be acceptable and can be part of what I call the human landscape. That was the last slide.
Well, I think you worked awfully hard. It's a lot of hard work.
Did you learn? What did you learn about her? Why do you think we did?
Well, I didn't learn much, only kind of watching you.
kind of watching.
There's one thing that I don't like, if I may say it.
Yeah, this is your last. This is a chance for you
Being
to say.
reminded so many times how old we're getting. I mean,
Well, I'm getting old too.
well, I know, but why should we constantly hear about how old we're about to fall into our grave?
You don't want to hear that anymore, right?
No.
Because you know that.
I
No,
think
the
we
senior
already
citizen,
know
they
that
can
we're,
overdo this senior
the
citizen
senior
thing.
citizen thing, I think we've overdone it.
Uh-huh.
I really do.
Just knows we're conscious of being old.
That's right.
You find it successful? You think it's good?
That's
We're
what,
never too old to learn?
that's what I'm trying to find out, whether it was successful or not, or how you feel about it.
Oh, I think so. I think everybody enjoyed it. A little disappointed when they first took a look at their pictures.
Oh.
But mine actually, yeah, I just thought it looked like me.
Mm-hmm. Did it make you feel better when you saw that the famous artists were doing their mothers?
Yeah,
and
the little child looking at the man with awful nose.
You like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it broke through a lot of preconceptions they had of themselves and what they thought they were like. So I think they were starting to say, gee, I've been very egocentric about my world and what it's really like. Who's this?
Oh, that's Jones, Mary Jones.
That's Mary Jones.
Mm-hmm.
She's got nice lines in her. You just look, she's got all those lines when she smiles. Lines just like that.
Mm-hmm. You find it out.
Yeah. I think it was good for me in what I was trying to prove for others. I think I was proving to myself too. And as open as I think I am, I might have some preconceptions about myself and my world too. I think we all do that.
You may look at your hands and say, oh boy, that looks terrible, those blood vessels are so close. That's the way my mother's hands used to look. Your hands may get old, but you don't feel it that your face is gonna be that old. Can you visualize yourself at 80? You have no idea, can you?
No.
And then when you're 80, you're still not 80 to yourself. I'll never admit that I'm 73. I'm probably around 60 or 55. Because I can do the things that they do and I like to do them.
You think we fight change?
Oh, yeah. Oh, very much.
Do you think that somewhere back there when you were younger, if you could have gotten more used to the idea of change, that the world changed, that maybe it wouldn't be so hard to take now?
Oh, I don't know. You saw your parents change, but you never thought anything of it. Grandma was grandma, and no matter how she looked, if she was wrinkled and old, you loved her the same way.
That's right.
And you never thought anything of it. But you never think, this is going to be me.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
This program was funded in part by a grant from Bankers Life Nebraska,